Welcome back to the show. We are here, if you're just joining us now, we're here with Vikas Kohli of Fat Lab Studios, music producer extraordinaire. How's that for an introduction?
That's pretty good.
That's pretty good.
Maybe I should put that on my license plate.
Put it on your business card, maybe.
The business card? All right.
So, Vikas, I just want to talk to you about the local scene. So obviously,
Sure.
you know, one thing that we're trying to do on the show is give some of the local artists and talent a platform where they can basically get some of the exposure that they need, and so they can do their thing. You obviously firsthand have experience working with some of those local artists. What do you think about the local scene, the prospects, the future? Where do we stand right now?
I think the scene's at a good place right now, especially for desi artists, because before, and I think a lot of desi artists know this, that before you basically were pigeonholed to either you had to sing your Hindi cover tunes at the local festival, or you were trying to anger your parents by singing hip hop, right? You don't know anything about that.
Not me.
And and so. And if you weren't doing one of those two things, it's like the rest of the desi community didn't really want to know what you were doing at all, or they just had no interest. But right now, there's been a lot of artists in the local scene that have done crossover, done not just the R&B and the hip hop, but also the rock music and pop rock and hard rock, and they're crossing those genres and opening the doors. And it's testimony to the fact that the audience, the desi audience that is here in Toronto and the non-desis are receptive to the new music. They're getting tired of just hearing the same shtick over and over again. So it's definitely a good place for those desi artists right now.
So who in your eyes is who's caught your eye, basically?
Who's caught? Oh, well, that's a whole nother question. No, but there's a lot of desi artists that I've worked with and that I'm working with right now. Some of the ones that I just finished working with, there's an artist by the name of Jsin.
Yeah, and we have a clip of Jsin as well.
Yeah, and he's a great new desi artist who's doing a rock, crossover. And then there's also artists. There's a Hindi singer by the name of Nikhil who was shortlisted by Buffy Larry on Saregama, and excellent. He's working on some new material. Another artist by the name of Shweta, who just finished touring with Alka Yagnik, and she's also working on some new material. There's another artist by the name of, he goes by KM. He's an urban desi artist who's singing in English. And he's going to be coming out with some new material right now as well. Very cool, hot new artists, all doing slightly different things. So we got the rock artists like Jsin, we got the Hindi singers like Nikhil and Shweta, and then we've got the urban artists like KM. They're all
and these are all South Asian artists that are basically doing all different genres.
All South Asian artists that are right now working on new material in Fat Labs, and people are going to hear about them very shortly. Yeah,
definitely. That's excellent. Oh, that's really good. Something we talked about with one of my guests a couple weeks ago, we talked about, the local scene, how we do have a lot of talent, and how some of that talent has to obviously leave Canada to get discovered. And one thing that guest had mentioned was that while there is that local talent, there's not enough of the behind-the-scenes talent as well.
Yeah.
So really knowing the business side of the industry, what do you think about that?
And I think that the issue with the artists, there's a lot of great talent, absolutely. And I think there's always been great talent. I don't think there's ever been a shortage, whether in the desi scene or the non-desi scene. But there's always been a problem with artists getting that talent out to the public because of the fact that as an artist, it's a high-risk venture. You're not going to get business people just jumping on board saying, yeah, here's my money, go make your album. But you got to show them that you can do that. And it's always been a struggle for artists to get their art out there because they're creative focused, they're not business focused, and they should be. But to try to help address this problem, I actually created something called the Fat Labs Artist Development Program, which the idea of that is after we take care of the songwriting and take care of the production, we want to be able to take the artist by the hand and take them through the things that usually boggle most artists' minds and just cause them a lot of stress, like the idea of copyright registrations, taking care of your publishing royalties, which is how they get paid, taking care of the press kits so they can get the promotion and get the shows, and all those things that really take the artist from just making good songs to then actually having people hear the songs. So it's a program that I'm working on right now. I've got a few partners in on it, and we're definitely looking for new talent right now. And the artists that I'm working with now are hopefully going to benefit from this whole new program at the same time.
No, it's really good. I mean, I think that's what the artists locally, they need to go beyond just being a great singer or a dancer or whatnot, but they have to be able to get to that next level. And we talked about, what advice would you give to some of those artists that are up and coming?
Best advice is, if you're writing songs or you have ideas about songs, get them out there. Because I think procrastination kills not just artists, but it kills pretty much everyone who's got an idea, a dream, whatever it is, acting. It can even be a business dream. If you're just always waiting for that right moment, it'll never happen. It's not going to come next week. It's not going to come next month. You just make it happen. So if making music is what you want to do, either as a singer or a composer or as a musician, connect with people right now, call people up, get working on your project and get it out there. Until you get your first song out there, no one's going to hear your second song. It's almost ridiculously obvious, right?
And I think one thing that's funny that you mentioned, but it's very true, is that it's not a romantic love story where you're just waiting to be discovered. And a lot of the artists that have been in the industry that have made it, they've been working for 10 plus years at perfecting their art form and meeting the right people and opening those doors. And I think it's long, hard work. Success doesn't come easy for anybody in any industry, in any business. And so if you're waiting to be discovered and you're waiting for the doors just to swing open and you'll just parade out on stage, it won't happen. But if you work hard, get your material in order, take care of your business and write good songs, work with good people, eventually you will get there. So what advice would you give now to the parents that have children that want to become a singer or a rapper or whatnot? What advice do you give to them? Talk to my parents, please.
You talk to your parents? Well, you're doing all right. You're the one who invited me on.
You should have talked to them when I was 13, maybe, when I wanted to be an actor.
That's true, I guess. But advice for parents is, well, I guess two things. I don't know, who am I to give advice to parents? I'm still an Indian kid, right? I can't say anything to an elder, right? So I'll just say Uncle G and Auntie G, just, be nicer to your kids. Let them experiment a little bit with maybe some different career choices. And if your kid is intelligent and hardworking, they will be successful at anything they do. That's a reality. It may not be what you thought they'd be doing, but if they're intelligent and hardworking, something good will come of it. And what else is there? I guess just remember that as much as you may not want your kids to go into music, I'm sure you love the Bollywood songs, right?
Very true.
You can't love the entertainment industry and then
hate it at the same time.
That's not really going to work.
Vikas Kohli is his name and music production is his game. Fat Lab Studios, check it out at www.fatlabs.com. Vikas, thanks for being here, and we'll be back right after.